How many of you watch porn? Wait. Let me rephrase that. How many of you don't watch porn? Whether you publicly admit to it or not, pretty much everybody watches or has watched some form of pornography or another. From your first lingerie catalog, where you skipped the basic bras section and went straight to the naughty nighttime wear, to ridiculously provocative music videos, like Miley Cyrus's Wrecking Ball, to straight-up streaming smut online. It's all a form of erotic visual stimulation. And almost everybody uses one type or another to inspire them when need be. And no, don't worry. I'm not here to convince you that porn isn't bad or that porn isn't addictive. Those topics have already been widely covered. I'm here with the assumption that you all realize that almost anything has the potential to be addictive, as well as the idea that not all of any form of entertainment should be banned or considered evil. What I want to discuss with you today is the negative societal perceptions around pornography and how that affects those within the industry as well as those outside of it. When searching for adult content, what sites rank in the first page of Google? Pornhub, YouPorn, RedTube. I'm sure you're all very familiar with these names. With a few clicks, we've got more video variety at our eager fingertips than one person could ever enjoy in a lifetime. And who exactly is paying to watch it? See, the problem here lies in the way that we've normalized the idea that porn simply shouldn't be paid for. This apathetic attitude has in fact allowed free porn to flourish online. And because free porn is pretty much everywhere, access to this content by anyone is incredibly easy. Just by clicking the "Yes, I'm over 18" button, teens and children are watching some things that should only be viewed by adults. Adults who are aware that pornography is fantasy, and who are old enough to understand things like consent and role-playing. While I support the industry wholeheartedly, as well as the right to free artistic expression, and believe quality adult content should be made, I also know that I don't want children getting their sex education from it. It creates an unrealistic expectation about sex at way too young of an age. Adult content should 100% be available for adults to enjoy, absolutely. But it should be paid for and age verified. The other attitude about free porn seems to be, well, no one pays for it, so why should I? But what you may not realize is that most of that free porn is stolen. A great deal of it is posted online by users or fans to the very same previously mentioned tube sites and a myriad of torrent sites, where they get hundreds of thousands, if not millions of views. And that's just for one scene in a movie. Most adult films have anywhere between 4 to 6 scenes in them. It's an incredible amount of revenue lost. And not only do the studios not see any money from this, but the performers lose out, and so do all the crew and production employees who've had to cut their wages drastically, increase their workloads, or seek other means of employment since this boom in free porn. Furthermore, the less they have to spend on creating their content due to piracy, it drives the quality of the product down. I'm sure many of you in this very room own or run businesses, right? Imagine if the product that you worked so hard for was given away for free. How would you feel? Would you continue to work hard for it? I myself had to personally stop directing and producing for my company back in 2013, because every time I would put a movie out, it would be online on all of these tube sites in a matter of days or hours. I had to hire an anti-piracy company to issue legal orders to cease and desist or remove the content immediately under copyright laws to these tube and torrent sites. And, oh yeah, they'd get taken down for a day or so. Then another user would upload the same content again. It's kind of like that annoying whack-a-mole game. Just when you've hit the mole, it pops up in another spot. Imagine doing that for years, with your investments and your livelihood at stake. It was a never-ending battle that cost me time, money, and my patience. So, even though my movies were highly acclaimed and I enjoyed directing, I couldn't afford to continue to produce. Seeing your hard work and long hours thrown around the internet for free in unending links and pages is as frustrating as it is heartbreaking. Banking, construction, politics, all male-dominated fields. Pornography is actually a rare industry where women can make more than their male coworkers. Females are allowed to call the shots and act as their own bosses and adults if they so choose. Especially now that technology has allowed women to create, produce, and post their own content on platforms such as OnlyFans, FanCentro, and Patreon, or even on their own self-run websites, and keep the majority of the profits. This is a great way to fight against free porn, by becoming members of these services. Unfortunately, even this content gets pirated and posted online for free by its members. That's why it is so crucial to support the industry directly, as well as these talent-operated outlets. The societal sense of entitlement that seems to have developed around porn use has created a psychological overall devaluation of porn, which in turn devalues women, the human body, erotic art, as well as sex itself. What does it say about a collective society that claims to fight for equal rights and female empowerment, yet isn't willing to support women, or other genders, who have found strength in their sexual and bodily autonomy, and who are motivated to monetize it? Traditionally, people don't value what they don't have to earn or pay for. Think about it. In terms of quality, how much would you value the following items? A free watch, a $20 watch, or a $150 watch? And if you really think about it, how much would you truly value a giveaway item if it was just there for free for you, every day? This devaluation has negative psychological impacts on everyone. It creates confusion among performers. Fans encourage you to do more scenes and you like your job, but these same fans don't want to pay for it, are constantly bragging about what free site they watched you on, and some even bully performers online. As a result, I have seen a drastic increase in the boldness of online bullying of sex workers in the last few years. I myself have received hateful messages and even threats of violence via social media and in direct emails from fans. I have actually gone to law enforcement regarding these threats, only to be told, "What do you want us to do about it? Block them and move on." Meanwhile, I can't help but wonder if someone who wasn't a former sex industry worker would receive the same treatment. By devaluing pornography, and thus devaluing its industry members, we've also created extra unnecessary hurdles for them in our society. I have heard of and known former coworkers who have had difficulties obtaining proper medical or mental health care, as well as inabilities obtaining bank accounts or loans. I myself had a very large bank chain shut down my bank account due to my affiliation with the adult industry, even though I was no longer performing anymore. I have also heard of women in the industry having custody battles. Women who are good, honest, loving mothers. They just so happen to work in the adult industry in some way or another. The problem with this devaluation and mistreatment, or rather subordination of sex workers, is its blatant hypocrisy, since a large portion of the population enjoys pornography in some form or another. It's cruel and unfair to judge and devalue someone when you have indulged in their work, or something similar, just on a lesser scale. On the other end of it, this devaluation and sex-negative outlook has negative repercussions for its viewers as well. I've read many letters from fans who have had to hide their love of porn for fear of being judged for it from their partner. I have also had people purchase stuff from my online store, only to have them email me begging to return it because their wife found out they ordered it. There is an unspoken societal level of shame that is associated with indulging in any form of adult entertainment or with working in the industry. which is kind of ridiculous because we are all naturally visual and sexual creatures. Overall, in my experiences and what I've learned by observation and interaction in my 10+ years in the adult industry is that these negative societal perceptions are far more damaging than the actual job could ever be. I liked my job in porn, but I didn't enjoy the way people treated me, the judgments that were made, or the bars that were set in front of me simply because I chose to do a job that was considered wrong, because it deals with, God forbid, sex, or because they felt that I wasn't respecting myself. Between you and me, I felt way more used and degraded working as a waitress at an oil change shop or stocking shelves at a toy store than I've ever felt in porn. I also think it's reasonable to accept that porn isn't going anywhere. It's been around for at least 11,000 years. Some of the oldest art created by humans is erotic or sexual in nature. Furthermore, it's just getting more mainstream than ever, with Kanye West curating adult industry award shows and Cardi B, who just performed at the AVN Awards. Kim Kardashian, Paris Hilton, what do they have in common? Kim Kardashian is a major celebrity and businesswoman. Who did porn? Paris Hilton, same thing. They literally built their fame on the release of sex tapes. Jackie Chan, Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Cameron Diaz have all been in adult content. And there are even occurrences of actual sex happening in mainstream and indie films. Look at Chloe Sevigny in The Brown Bunny, or look at the Nymphomaniac movies. Really, in most movies, actors and actresses do everything that porn stars do, just without the visual male climax and without the actual penetration. And if we look at the mainstream entertainment industry or social media with an honest eye, we see that we are already surrounded by sexual images and themes in our daily life. Commercials, magazine ads, billboards, all feature sexualized images. So why lay the weight and judgments on adult film stars, or on any sex worker or former sex worker, whether it be an exotic dancer or a cam girl? Sex itself is inherently human. It's quite possibly the most human thing in existence. So why have negative correlations and repercussions for a person who does some form of sex work or another? We all have sex. It's how we all got here. And frankly, it's a little backwards to see how normalized violence is in the United States, while simply breastfeeding your child in public is considered a scandal. People are sexual beings, and instead of having porn be that dirty little secret, we need to turn it into a sex-positive conversation and realize that most people in the industry are intelligent, normal individuals who enjoy sex just like you, but who choose to do it as a legitimate job and as a performance for viewers to enjoy. With more strong, sexy businesswomen embracing and harnessing their sexuality today, it's the perfect time to create an open discussion around the topic of adult entertainment. The healthier the conversation around porn and adult entertainment, the healthier sex culture in our society will become, and the more sex-positive works can be inspired and created.